3D logo on pixelLab. So let's begin. First begin, we have to change the image. Let's change the image size. So I'm going to be using a custom size 1280 by 720. It's okay. Let's begin. Okay, we have that, nice and good there. Let's proceed. The next thing we're going to be doing, we want to take our test. So you click on the plus icon and you take your test. So we want to edit that test. To edit the test, we'll go over to the test edit area. That's over here. We'll click edit. Let's edit the test. So we have that over there. Okay, done. Okay, so let's increase the size. So come over, we are still in the test section. We go over to the test size. Okay, we want to leave it at 200. If there need be, we'll come back to resize it. We'll leave it at 200 presently. So now what we want also do, we also want to duplicate this. So click the copy icon over here. Nice and good. Then also edit this. So you can put any text of your choice. Okay, nice and good. So we're going to go over to the A section. So next we want to do, we want to change the font. Very important. So we're still in the A edit area, the test edit area. So I'm going to go over to my fonts. These are some of my basic fonts which I've downloaded. So if you want to use the font your design, you can use any font of your choice. You can go over to fonts and use the default fonts on pixelLab, or you can go over to my fonts. Here, the fonts is downloaded will appear. So I'll keep a link in the description to download this font, and when you download it, you can access it from this particular part. So we're going to go over to fonts. So I'm using this Avengers Awake font over here. So I'm going to click OK. Nice. So you see the size is not full, so there's a problem with the padding. So we're going to go over to padding. So we go over to padding. See, got it right here. We're going to increase the left padding. Also going to increase the right padding. Nice and good over there. So we have increased the padding. One thing we want to also do, want to do the same for C. I know I could have copied this previously, the same thing, but I want to style this a bit. So also the same, I'm going to increase the padding. Okay, so the font of the C, we can change it later if we want to. So basically, let's work on this over A. That's basically what we need right now. So firstly, I'm going to use the sizing again, so you can see it very well. Okay, so the next thing I want to do over here, I'll be cutting this. Okay, so we're going to just merge them, but before we do that, want to make sure that both of them are at the center. So we're going to position the A at the center, relative position, center, nice. So also this relative position, center. Okay, this, so now can we adjust that using our position? Now there's a difference between position and relative position. We're using our position, so let's position this over here. We're going to move it by 1 pixel. Okay, so let's shift this outward a bit. Okay, nice and fine over there. So we have this simple CA, and this is a simple design. So one more thing that we can also do, we can also add another C here, or you can just leave this as it is. So what we're going to be doing now, we want to merge these two images together, but before that we want to give both of them different texture. So what does that mean? That means come over to the texture area and click on texture. So I'm going to check for some texture images. So okay, we're going to leave that for the C. And also now we're going to edit the A. So I can't tap the A, so I'm going to just tap the A over here. Good. So I'm going to give it a texture also. So I'm going to take that background over there. So if you need the background, the link to download the background, if you haven't have it, because this is one of the popular background used on YouTube, so you can just click the link in the description to download it. But if you already have it, you can just use it in the background, or you can choose other backgrounds of your choice. So let's continue. So this also, we can also choose to darken it or lighten it. Okay, we have that over there. You can also maintain ratio if you want to. So I'm going to leave that nice and good. So one more thing I want to do, I like to give this a stroke. Very important. I'm going to give this a stroke. Okay, so you can choose colors from your stroke. So another thing here, I click this plus icon to choose color. The default color is black for the stroke. You can give it color you want. You can also click the plus icon, and if you toggle that icon, you can choose colors from the images provided. So you can just basically choose any color of your choice, and that will be the color for the logo. You can also use gradients, that is mixture of two or more colors as for it. So that's just basically what we need. So the black color is okay right now for us. So one thing we want to also do, so we'll go back to the C, we'll do the same thing for it. We give it a stroke. We're going to give this a stroke of black also. That is nice right there. Okay, nice and good. So now we want to rotate the C a little bit. So what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to adjust the position. So move it by 1 pixel. We're going to adjust the position. And also what I also want to do, we also want to rotate this. Okay, we also want to rotate this. I'm coming, let's. So we want to rotate this, so rotate this a little bit more. Okay, okay, there's a mistake over there. Okay, 6 degrees. Okay, now we have to position this. over there like this. Okay, so basically you are following us. So this is basically what I want to do. So for the last stuff that I want to do, we have to merge these two together right now because we are done with editing this. So we go over to this overlay over here. So let's merge this. I'm going to click this CA and I'll merge. Click the merge icon over and ask me, are you sure? So click the confirmation. Okay. So now I've merged this successfully. Okay. So one more thing I want to also be doing right here. We haven't included our motto. It says down. So we have this over here. So I also want to give it a TVD shape. Okay. That's nice over here. So we'll leave the depth at 15. We can darken it if we want to, but darken it at 60. That's okay. So we can leave all of that stuff till we're done. So one more thing I want to also be doing before we go over to the 3D. If you observe, your client might need a text underneath here or her logo. So one more thing we want to also do, we want to also add a simple text below. So this basically is the logo, though we're not done with editing it by adding 3D. So we want to just add something underneath. Let's say want something like creative art. Okay, so let's say we go over to fonts. We're going to choose a font for this also. So we can pick any font of our choice. This one needs to extend the padding. Okay, so we're going to also give this a texture. Okay, so we can enable the or maintain our visual depending on what we want to do. So another stuff that we can also do right here is we can split this into two. So we can just come up, we can copy this and come over here and just put in creative. Okay, and we can use this and we can do something like this, right? So what we want to be doing, we want to position this over here. Also increase the sizing. Also increase the sizing of this to 34. Position them close together. So what we're basically doing this because we want to give these two images different texture. That's why we're editing this. That's why we split them up differently. So we want to give them different texture. So we can use this grid over here to check if our measurements are okay, if they're in the same line. So I'm going to just use this grid over here to scale them out. Okay, so we can also shift that a little bit closer. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to give this a texture, but before that you want to make sure it's very close to the A. I'm going to give it a texture right now. Okay, so this texture. We also want to give this stroke. Write it over there. So what we want to do, we want to merge all of them together. So before you merge them, a good method, in case you want to come back to this design later and use it later on, a good practice is for you to save them as project at each state. Let's say at this state now, you can just save this as a project right here. So it'll be on pixelLab. So you can come back to it at a later time. But sign this project, I don't need it to be saved as project. Let us finish up with this. So lastly, we want to just make this, make this a 3D shape. Okay, right over there. Okay, the depth of 10 is okay. Okay, so lastly we want to emboss this to make it look even more realistic. Okay, oh, it came out roughly, so we have to reduce the bevel. So use the bevel of 4 is okay. Then the specular hardness has to be increased. So also is the intensity of the lightning. So this controls where the lightning comes from. So sorry about that. Okay, we have that nice and good over there. So we can also do the same thing with the shadows. So we can also play around with the radius also. Okay, Lastly, I'm going to give it a background. I'm going to choose the background from gallery. So we have some backgrounds over here in gallery. So you can basically use the background of your choice. You can try to use any of these backgrounds. So here we go. So lastly, we can also play around with the background. We should make sure we use the vignette tool. Now this enables us to focus. Now it draws the attention of the person to focus on the design instead of the background around it. So you can observe it. I reduced the alpha, but if I change the color, you can still see signs around that there's alpha. What we want to do when we use the vignette tool, we want to use black. So the other parts will be darkened, so the main focus can be on design. That's what the vignette is using for. Now observe where I tap closely the tool I am. I'm not in the text tool, neither am I in the image tool, I'm not in the background tool, I'm not using the background tool, sorry. I'm over here in the background editing tool. So also we can also reduce or increase the contrast if we have any need to. We can do that, right? So you can just basically play around with design. You can also play around with the saturation. Now to the last part, to saving, we'll click save as image. So note in the dimensions you want to use ultra, not low, not high. Ultra is best. It enables your design to come out well, very well and clearly when you print it out, right? So we use ultra design, but it takes some time because it takes longer time to save, but it is worth it. We're going to use ultra. I'm going to hit save to gallery. First it's going to render the image before it starts saving the image, but it's worth the wait. So we can just wait for some time, think about 1 minute. But if you use the normal quality, it's going to just save immediately to your gallery with a very low quality, and that is not good for your design to be very look professional. You have to be in a very nice quality. Even after printing it out and your client want to use it in different brands, you have to be in a good quality. So if it's taking some time, I think it took about 2 minutes. I should just pause this for some time so that I'm not going to like take much of your MB. So the image has been saved, right? So the image has been saved. The image is right here, so you can go look at the image from a gallery. So one more thing you want to also do, if your client want to use his design in different brands, let's say you want to print it out and tell you needs the design to be printed out, one thing you want to be sure to do is you want to use a transparent background, right, so that the image can pretend that. And this shadow, you also have to remove the shadow from the image. To remove the shadow, you just have to do the reverse of what we did. Just come over, you click the image and you go over to shadows, right, and off the shadow. So it's going to be plain like this, right? It's going to be plain. If possible, you can also remove the strokes while editing the text, but it should be plain and simple as possible when sending it in a transparent format, because your client will need it in a transparent format and also in a mockup format, and you can also need it in different format and different types. You can also need it a simple small tiny logo for a Facebook profile. You can need it for a big packaging brand. So it depends. So we need it in transparent, but if you need it for social media platforms, you're also going to resize it. So you come over here to image size, so you can resize it. So there's some default sizes here for YouTube channel or Facebook cover. So set about some default size which you can just use to resize it and play around with it. So that is what you can also do. So that is it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.